There are certain rules that one must abide by in order to survive a horror movie. Number one, you can never have sex. That's a big no-no. Number two, you should never drink or do drugs. No, it's extension of number one. And number three, never, ever, under any circumstances, say, I'll be right back, because you won't be back. Boom. Ooh, I'll be right back. I'll see you in the kitchen.
Right back.
Yes.
This year marks the 25th anniversary of Scream. And here we are doing press about the movie 25 years later. What does that feel like that you're still talking about it right now?
I mean, it's incredible. It's just like we made something that is like just still in the tips of people's tongues, you know. It just proves its staying power, that it's part of the lexicon of pop culture.
So did you have a full grasp of like what you were making at the time? I know I've seen interviews with like Skeet Ulrich where he's like, I didn't know if I was making a horror or a comedy, and it wasn't until it was out that I fully understood what it was. At what point did you realize what Scream was?
I think that I realized that it was going to be, well, when I read the script, it was like a different thing. It was just like this incredible, well-written, tightly wound play, like David Mamet or Aaron Sorkin, you know. It was just interior kitchen night. Young girl holds a knife, phone call. You know, it was just so well written. So right then I thought, oh, that's fascinating. And then as we were shooting it, I was like, this is so unique. And we got these cast of people from all these different walks of life. Friends was blowing up. Party of Five was really hitting the radar. And Skeet was this young, like, you know, super new, captivating actor. And Matthew was this really funny guy who's coming up in movies. David. And we just hit this magic, you know. And then we had Wes leading us, Kevin's brilliant script studio. So it was just a mix of so many different things. And I was like, we thought we had something special, but we didn't know what it was going to be until it just started coming out.
And then it was...
We knew it was good, and we hoped people would saw it, but we all thought, at least some of us thought, well, if we come out and do like 20 million at the box office, and then like, you know, do good on like VHS, maybe we'll get like a, you know, direct VHS sequel or something.
What do you remember about your audition process? Because I remember like Breckin Meyer and Jason Lee were also up for...
How'd you hear that?
You know, trivia facts.
I remember that I auditioned, that I just was like, I went in, I saw it on the breakdowns, which was the thing that actors get. And they are like this thing where you see kind of the projects, but actors would get them on the sneak. And then I remember my agent, like I called her and she was like, oh, I'm going to send you in on that. And then I just remember having all this dialogue and I was like, oh my God, this is like the most biggest part I ever went in for. And I was like, this is an incredible dialogue. So I just remember staying at home for like 2 days, trying to memorize it and going in. And it was the first time I ever went into like a casting director, and the feedback, she was like, I think that was good. Lisa Beach. And I was like, yeah, because you never know. And she's like, no, that was good. She's like, I think you could do this. And I was like, what? And then she's like, are you available Thursday to come back and meet Wes Craven? And I was like, let me check my schedule. And then I was like, come on, are you serious?
Yeah.
And then I didn't know, you know, you don't know if it's lip service. And sure enough, my agent called me like 4 hours later. And she's like, are you ready to go back and meet Wes Craven Thursday? The call back. I was like, what? And then boom, it was on.
Oh my gosh. Randy is a fan favorite for me. I would trust him with my life. I think most people in the franchise do. But you have a YouTube channel / podcast where you share stories about your experience on set, working on Scream. As you've been looking back and reflecting, what is your favorite memory of meeting / working with Wes Craven?
Yes, and I appreciate you shouting out my YouTube channel.
It's really good.
Thank you. I would say, and I did a whole last thing about you guys, about Screen Rant and the alternative ending.
I want to ask you about.
I would say there's two memories I have. One is that when I went in and I got up there to Santa Rosa early, and I remember meeting Wes, not meeting him, but seeing him like on the first or second day, and I'm going around doing wardrobe fittings and everything. And he was stressed out. And he had told me that he was up all night editing the Drew Barrymore footage because the studio was like really hounding him. This iconic guy who delivered already two, what is it when a movie has multiple things? Like my brain hit that midday brain.
Franchise?
Yes, he had franchise. He had Last House on the Left. He also had Elm Street. So he had these like franchise things, and they're questioning like what this movie was. And he was like, well, the studio doesn't understand my dialogues. He said this to me, and I was like this young actor. So they edited all night, and I guess those guys were in Cannes. And then like the next day when it got to Cannes or whatever, they watched it, and the exhibitors were like, this is so interesting. So I just remember the first day that he was this iconic guy, and he was even like getting questioned what this movie was, which was insane. And the fact that he shared that information with me. And then the second thing was when I was on set and I was doing the rules, which was a huge scene for me. And I just remember, and well, thank you so much. And I just remember that I was like, there's certain rules one must abide by. And I was really a mouthful, and I got it. And he's like, all right, we got it. That was your close up. Let's move on. And I was like, what? We can't move on. Like, this is it. You know, like film is forever. And he's like, I think I really got it though. I think you did great. And I was like, can I just please have one more? I know I can get it better. And he's like, what would you do differently? And I was like, I don't know, just more emotions, wilder. And he's like, all right, I got it. I'll do it. And then I did it. And then he let it run. And he's like, do it again. Do what you want. So then I did 3 takes of it. And at the end, he came up to me and he goes, wow, that was a lot more than I thought. And he's like, you know what? I'll never forget this. Never question your instincts. Never be scared to ask a director for another take because you have great instincts. And he says, you know, I'll probably use your takes. And I think in the movie, he said there's a combination between 2 and 3.
Let's talk about, you mentioned you read on Screen Rant that earlier draft of Scream that Randy like almost had a different ending.
It's insane. That's how I revisit these movies because, so I'm doing this YouTube channel and like it's a mix of multiple things, but basically people want to know the behind the scenes. And one of the things that people love is that I'm really like transparent, and I try to keep it positive. I've definitely had mostly positive things in my career. I'm not out there to like spill tea, but if something is crazy, I will tell it, but I don't want to do too crazy, but obviously Scream is an amazing experience. There's nothing non-positive about it, but there's things I forget. And so like with the re-release and the 4K and the new movie, and like I said, there's memes, there's GIFs, there's people fan filming it, there's alternate theories, there's a whole Reddit community. Somebody sends me this, and my guy who works with me, Kyle Anderson's like, dude, you got to do a reaction to this. And I was like, what is it? And so I didn't even read it. I read it on camera. And just like I did the trailer, did it fresh. And I do remember that. I do. And I think I probably have that script, which I probably don't have in my email because I got my email in 97. And which is crazy. Here's a little bit of trivia. I think I got my Mac email in 97 because I made enough money from Scream to get a nice computer. And Craig Mazin, who's Emmy winner for Chernobyl and many other projects, writer of Hangover 2 and 3, set it up for me.
Wow.
And yes. So I think I might have Scream 2 emails in there somewhere with scripts, but I don't think I have the original script on email. So all I have are paper copies. But I have a couple. And I think I have the version where Randy did get to ask Sydney out, which was great. So he goes, the father's tied up, and it's kind of great. And I kind of low-key hurt that it didn't, maybe we did shoot it, I don't remember. I really have like low-key late 40s, early 50s brain right now, where he was like, you know, after this is all done, because he's a love puppy, a love sick puppy. And then she's untying her dad after all this craziness. And she's like, yeah, just as long as it's not a horror movie. And then, which is cute, you know, pulls away. But I think it was either unsensitive, corny. There was a reason why it's not in there. But I don't know if we shot it. It might have been shot. What if it was shot?
That's interesting. I would like to see that.
I might have been shot. Isn't that sad that my brain just hit that level where I can't remember? I think it might have. I can't tell you if we shot it or not. It might be a 50-50.
Let's talk about Scream 2, because then, you know, Randy meets his demise, which fans were not happy about that. Did you anticipate like how hard people would take Randy's death?
No way. No way. And I think that through time, so if something's good, people rewatch it, a la you. And if something is good, people then quote it and re-examine it. And that's what Scream is, the whole universe. And when I got killed, I don't even know if there was supposed to be a sequel. Maybe there was, maybe there wasn't. I don't know. I don't even know if I was supposed to be in it. You know, I think I was lucky because I had the same lawyers, Kevin, and, you know, Kevin liked the character. And, you know, and I remember that they were like, yeah, I think I can fit him in here. And then they did. And they had this whole rant, which was great. And, you know, David's character originally was killed. I do remember that in the draft. He was dead. And then Wes loved him. And he was like, just give me that thumbs up. That thumbs up made him live. And I think Randy at one point was killed in a draft. And then he did get up again and he said, I'm never so happy to be a virgin.
Because he kind of pops up and she's like, Randy, I thought you were dead.
Yes, exactly. Which makes sense. So, but he could have died there. So then he lived again. I was bummed, but I was like, well, people are going to die, you know? And I'm like, probably the next one, like, David will die. And then the next one, Courtney will die. And then eventually, never will have to die. But it was like, no. It was only as those three kept going on. And I was like, damn, come on, man. Randy was needed on that team. You know what I mean? Like, it was like he helped. He had the rules. He would have provided some kind of assistance. So, and I think through time, as people watch these things and people like yourself, you represent, I bet there's a part of you that feels like you're Randy. I bet you love to comment on movies and you can see it. Don't go in there. You're very invested. So I do feel that probably when Randy was killed, people like yourself felt muted. And so I think it's only getting more. And every day it's getting more impactful. So the more they make screens without Randy, the more people will want to see him, which is exciting.
Okay, so Matthew Lillard, for example, is someone who just does not believe that Stu is dead. He's like, I don't believe it because there was a version that Stu was supposed to be.
He is speaking it into existence.
Right? Well, wasn't there a version of Scream 3 where like Stu was supposed to come back and be the killer, but then Columbine happened, so they scrapped that and rewrote it?
I had heard that. I had heard something. I mean, well, he already was the killer. Him and Billy were the killer in the first one. I think I did hear that, and I did hear the Columbine thing. I don't know what the actuality is on that, but I definitely heard that. I mean, I don't know. When they put the TV over his head and he electrocuted and he shocked, I thought he was probably dead, and then they left and the cops came. I'm assuming they took the bodies away that he was dead, but maybe he's not dead.
Right. Well, the reason I bring that up is there any part of you that is not accepting Randy's demise? Do you believe in any capacity that Randy may not really be dead? And could show up?
He could be alive. I think he's dead. I think he's killed, and I think that's why people are so upset, because they go, what rule did he break? He walked in front of a news van, which was a little stupid. But he could be alive. There's a lot of ways he could do it. He could have said, listen, I got to fake my death because I didn't want to go out like that. He had to go in hiding. But then that's really cold of him to leave his friends on the hook as he knows the rules. But maybe he gave them ideas throughout the next couple movies subliminally. He did help with the videotape. He could have went to the mountain and become a bearded crazy person. Or, he could be involved in the murder somehow, and he could be a bad guy. I don't know, but I want to believe he's a good guy.
I feel like if anyone has the foresight to plan all that, it's probably Randy.
That's what we believe. So, or he's living on, through his sister, who's Heather Mazzarata. But as of now, I thought he was dead. But would I like him to be alive? Sure. There's other verses. There's prequels. There's sequels. There's alternative universes now. So who knows? Maybe.
What was your reaction when you heard they were doing Scream 5, which is just called Scream?
I thought it was cool. You know what I mean? Like, I think it's great. I think that Scream is, in its own way, an MCU verse. You know what I mean? It has its own lineage, and it's just, just like Halloween keeps going and Friday the 13th, I think Scream can keep going. And I think that it should keep going. People love it. They want to consume it. And, I know that we do remakes and stuff, but these aren't remakes. These are next chapters. And I think these are sequels that are good. I mean, you could argue the only reason that Scream is better than Scream 2 is because it was first. Scream 2 is super strong sequel against any sequels. You know what I'm saying? And Scream 3 is very good too. So I think people want to see it. I think the new generation wants to do it. I think young actors that got involved are like really great, and they're in this new generation, and they're really in the zeitgeist thing. So you know when it really hit full circle, you'll like this.
Yeah.
I think you'll like this. I love Black Mirror, and I wish it was on every week. And they did one called San Junipero, which is amazing. And there's 2 actresses in it. And they're like in this beautiful relationship, but it goes through time. They go through different levels of time to unify their love. It's crazy what this could be for the future. And when they go to the 90s, there's a pull away of a huge side of a building. And on it, it's the big movie that's out of Scream. And more than anything, that just hit me that it's a wrap. Like, Scream is now in the Smithsonian. Like, Netflix took this huge, what I think Black Mirror is so iconic. And then it commented and put Scream in this super iconic series and a super progressive episode. And I just thought, wow, that's so cool. Like, it was, yeah.
Do you have something that you would really love to see happen in the new Scream, or something you would like not want to see happen? I know people are like Sydney being the killer is something that I think a lot of people don't want to see, but then some people want to see that. I don't know.
There's rumors that?
I think it's just like, could Sydney be the killer?
No way. She could never.
I'm not with that, but I'm open to anything, I guess.
Do you want my opinion? Like I said, I don't think about it as much, but yeah, I wouldn't want to see Sydney as a killer. No, I don't think that's her at all. I think she's just a pathetic person who's living a hard life, But I think if Scream keeps going, I mean, I don't want to be this person, but somebody may have to go.
Somebody's got to go. Somebody besides.
I mean, somebody's got to go, right? I mean, come on, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, but then again, you can't, you can't, do Fast and Furious without Gino Toretta. You know what I mean? So, it's 6 and 1/2 dozen the other. You know what I'm saying? So.
Yeah, but that's a franchise that brings everybody back.
Yeah, I know. That's what I was wondering. You know what I mean? But you need the anchors, and David, Courtney, and Nev were definitely the anchors. But I don't know what's going to happen. It'd be cool to see something new with something old. And I know these directors are like super cinephiles. I'm sure they definitely identify with Randy's beliefs. And so I think that they're the type of people that could examine a movie and then put Easter eggs and levels and all this stuff. So I would be excited to see what they do. I think that the trailer came out kind of hot and dark and like it's straightforward, but I think there's going to be a lot more to this. But I have no idea. Like I said, I'm just like you. I'm just a fan. I'm waiting for the popcorn.
Well, thank you so much for your time. So lovely talking to you. I love this franchise so much. So this has been an honor.
Thank you, Ash, and it's a pleasure to talk to you. And thank you. And I can feel that your effervescence for it. So I appreciate it. I love your set. Please just let me know that on either side of that perfect set, there's just chaos. Make me feel bad about myself.
Ready?
Yeah. Oh my God, you're living a lie. I love it. This is total life. You're living a lie.
Hollywood, baby.
Amazing.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for keeping it real.
Hollywood.